This is the last known photo of me that was taken when I was healthy. And at 8 years old, I was diagnosed with both Crohn's disease and arthritis, which are autoimmune conditions. So Crohn's disease affects the gut, arthritis affects the joints. And to be perfectly honest, as a kid, it didn't really, other than the fact that they're painful diseases and they sap your energy, I didn't really feel my life was tremendously impacted because kids are pretty resilient. But as I got into the workforce, I realized that one of the challenges that I was going to have was actually dealing with, working within an organization, within a corporation. And as I got into larger and larger organizations, at the time, it seemed to be a bigger and bigger challenge. Until, I ended up with one organization. It was a television network in Canada, and I had a wonderful boss. And the thing I loved about my boss was there was a level of trust between us. And I started being very open about my health challenges. And he was very, curious and basically was saying, okay, like, how can we help you? Which was awesome. You'd think that would be the normal thing, but especially back then, that was a real big deal. And probably the biggest turning point for me in this whole invisible disability conversation was when the organization wanted to make me a senior manager. They wanted to make me head of all content and information on this all-news TV network. Now you can imagine that's a pretty big job, 24-hour news. And I had seen my two predecessors in that job both burn out after a couple years, and they were perfectly healthy. So I remember saying to my boss, I said, look, I've seen how other people approach this job. I think I can do it, but I just can't do it like other people have because I'm going to burn out too, and it'll be like 6 months. It won't be, 2 years. And this is what he said to me, which is amazing. He said, Jason, as long as you get the results we're looking for, we're going to leave it up to you into how you do the job. We don't want you to do the job necessarily like your predecessors. We want you to do the job like you can. Oh my God, what an amazing thing for me to hear. And this brings up a whole amazing pivot for me because I realized once I took this job that the thing I thought was going to hold me back in my career, which is this life of invisible disability that I had, turned out to actually give me some skills that turned me into a much more successful manager than I would have been otherwise. And here's why. When I took over my department, I found out that most of the department was underperforming. I had basically journalists and writers who were my reports. And, as I was looking at their output, I realized that the output for a lot of people, the number of stories that they'd done had really decreased over the past year. And the quality of their work, and these were fairly talented people, also wasn't that great. But I wasn't sure what to do about this. So first things first, I let them know because, again, this is a really busy job. I have to be in contact with people 24 hours a day. So I had conversations with all of them, and I was honest and open about my own invisible disability. And guess what? They responded to me by being honest and open about theirs. And I soon realized that half of my staff had some sort of invisible disability. And these were issues that the organization that I was working for didn't know about because people hadn't come forward. But because I had been vulnerable, I had been open, they were coming forward now. And once they came forward, it was much easier to find solutions and help manage some of the challenges they had, even if it was just, getting to doctor's appointments sometimes in the middle of the day. And as a result, we ended up more than doubling productivity within less than 2 years. And the quality of the work just went up tremendously. And again, I realized that if we take this approach, if we take an open approach and we're a little bit innovative and creative in our accommodations, we can create a workplace where people with invisible disabilities absolutely thrive.